uh, we mainly discuss in last class three things, right? The first thing that what is requirement of ER diagram, right? And what exactly ER diagram represent three things it actually depicts. ER diagram depicts three things. The first thing is entity. Name itself suggests E stands for entity. It represents entities, or let's call it entity. R stands for relation. So third thing is relation, right? And second thing is attributes. Let's call it attribute. So first, second, and third. So ER diagram depicts, it represents three things: entity, attributes, and relations, right? So we already discussed few things, right? I have explained four things in last class also. What is meaning of entity, right? What is entity type, right? Entity type. What is entity set, and attributes, right? Four things we discussed. So we discussed four things: one, two, three, and four. Right? Entity, entity type, entity set, and attributes. So if you have any question, please you can raise your question through chat box. We can discuss on this. But as we discussed in last class also, okay. So let me briefly cover these four things for this okay quick revision. So if you and this is our ultimate goal, right? This particular slide, as I discussed also in last class, this is ultimately our objective. This is an ER diagram, right? Ultimately we want to design this diagram. So before going into details of attributes, right? So let me first of all explain these things, right? That what exactly an entity is, right? So quickly I will right. Let's consider, right? Student table, let's call it student, right? And having, right, name, enrollment number, phone number, email id, right? Something like this. So this is a student, you can say that student table or student relation we call it, right? And it is having some number of, you can say that, properties, that students are having name, student having enrollment number, having phone number, student having email address, right? So assume there is a student, and name of student is, for example, Nilesh. Okay, his enrollment number is 123, his phone number is 345, right? And email id is a at the rate something, right? Second student is, for example, Nayan. Okay, his enrollment number is 124. His email ID is 456. Sorry, phone number, and email ID is b at the rate something. Just try to understand this, right? Having Abhay, right? 125 678 c at the rate gmail.com. So every every student's detail, right? It constitute one entity. Assume it is entity one. This is another entity. This is third entity. So every record, right? Record in a table, student table, right? It is an entity. It represents one entity. So what is definition of an entity? It is ultimately an object that exists in real world. That object can be physical or it can be a logical object, right? So person, right? Maybe you can consider a person, you can consider a book in a library, a particular book in a library, subject of database management system, name of book is database management system, and author is Nawate. So it is one entity in book database, right? So we also sometimes call this record tuple, right? Mathematical term is tuple. Here the student, we call it table sometimes. We also mathematically call it, or in database we call it a relation, right? So keep these terms in mind. So they are being used interchangeably, right? So these all are entities, right? E1, E2, E3. Student 1 is E1, student 2 is E2, student 3 is E3, and so on, right? And when we are talking about these columns, right? name, enrollment number, phone, email. All these are attributes, right? Name is an attribute, enrollment number is an attribute, phone number is an attribute, email is an attribute. So these all are attributes, right? These all are properties of student, right? Name is one property of student, enrollment number is second property of student, your height, student's height is third property, your birth date is fourth property, right? Your phone number is fourth property, your email ID is fifth property, and so on. So all these properties are attributes pertaining to this student, right? So two things I explained, entity and attribute, right? So one is entity, second one is attribute. And now what is attribute set? Tell me, all of you. What do you mean by attribute set? I expect answer. Entity set, right? So if we keep combine this E1, E2 or set of entities, you can say that, right? E3, this will become entity set, right? So I expect answer from everyone. It may be wrong or right, but ultimately it shows your right involvement while attending this class. Try to answer every question of mine. If I raise any question, you are requested to answer it, right? You are supposed to answer it, right? So just try to understand, this is entity set, right? So I have now explained three things: entity, attribute, and entity set, right? Three things I have explained. Now last thing is entity type, right? Entity type. So let me explain this other way. Let me give you one analogy. We all of us know programming language. In a programming language, we now want to discuss entity type, right? We want to discuss entity type. Just try to understand this analogy. And in programming language, there is something called data type. Yeah, like integer we have, right? Like float we have, or a character. I am talking about either C or C++, right? In many other programming languages also, this type of data types exist, right? So this is primary data type, we call it. But there is one another type of data type that we call it user defined data type. Yes or no? So I'm not going to explain user defined data type, right? So let's call it user defined data type. So when we create, for example, right? For example, if you create an array of 10 in C programming or C++. So you like statement like this. So every element of this array A, there are 10 elements in this array A, and every element is having type int, right? You know a concept of structure in C programming language, in C++, you know concept of class. So if you create a class called student, right? And in student class, there are number of members. One is integer member, another one is float member, third one is character member. And if you create object of class student, and name of object is s1, so one s1 will be created of type student, okay? So it will have all these fields inside object. Yes or no, all of you? So I'm not going to explain you right everything like about class in detail, but I am just trying to compare these two things: data type in programming language and entity type in database management system. So it is very similar. This analogy will explain you that these two things are very similar, right? So I am explaining you a bit differently, right? So you can say that when I create, let me clean this. So when I create an object, or when I create, right, variable like integer a of 10, right? So when I create an object like student, right, s1, and student class student, right, is having some number of members, like one is integer, roll number, right? and character array name, assume this. So there are two members, right? So if I create student object, right, s1, under student object s1 there will be two fields called roll number and name, right? So this is s1 and this is an object actually, and object is a variable, right? So it is a variable. So when we instantiate uh, s1, or when we instantiate student class, it creates an object called s1 and having these two fields inside, right? So these two fields are very much similar to an attribute of student table. We are talking about class here, and when we are creating database table, so it will be very similar, right? So just try to understand entity type is something like this. So for example, if we create student table, and student table is having four different columns, 1 2 3 4. First one is name, second one is enrollment number, third one is email address, right? And fourth one is his date of birth, maybe, and any attribute you can consider. So when I create one record, or when I insert one record, it is instantiation of s1 entity 1, like this is class object, so this is database object, you can say that. And data entity type is actually student here in this case, right? So name of the table is not just a name of a table, but it defines actually entity type. Means what? It defines what is there inside this table, how many columns exist, and what is data type of each and every column, and what is constraint of what are the constraints that you want to provide on each and every column, right? So for example, there is a student table, right? I am talking now about database, right? So there is a student table. The first column name is name of student. Second column name is enrollment number. Third column name is for example, assume it is phone number. And fourth column name is, assume it is an email id, right? Just try to understand this. So these four are, you can say that, attributes to this particular table. So what is an entity type? Student is an entity type, and it is also known as intention of this table. Intention of this table means, intention means what is intent of this table? Intent of this table is to store information like name, enrollment number, phone number, and email id. And if I elaborate this, what is data type of name? It is a string. Enrollment number may be numeric, phone number may be numeric, email id may be string, and having some constraint, right? Enrollment number is having constraint that it should not be greater than 6 or 7 digit. Phone number cannot be greater than, okay, 10 digits, something like this, or exactly 10 digits, right? Name should not exceed more than 25 character. Email should not exist more than 40 characters. So this type of constraint this student entity type is having. So this is intention of this student entity type, right? So that's why it is called intention. Am I clear, all of you? That is intent of this student entity type. Is it clear? Please write yes or no. If you are not clear, I can explain it again if you want, right? So that is meaning of intention and entity type, right? So this is entity type actually. Student table का जो नाम होता है, relation का जो नाम होता है, that is actually entity type. And why we call it entity type? Because it defines attributes of each and every each and every attribute of that particular table, right? It is intention of that particular entity type is actually an intention. So if there is an intention, okay, there is another term called extension. So this, when we create table, right, just creating a table called student, right? Student table, if we create, having an column like name, enrollment number, okay, and the third column is, for example, phone number, and last column is email id, assume this, right? So this is ultimately, initially we are creating a table and not having any records inside. So once we insert one record, like when we fill in data here like this, okay, after filling this data, it is being extended. So we now, after inserting records into it, we want to extend it, or we want to extend it, right? So that is why it is called extension. While we fill in data into this table, it becomes an extension, right? So that is meaning of extension. Maybe having one record, two record, n record, 15 record, 20 records. So that is an extension, right? So many terms I have explained. So, right? Okay. So I hope it is clear. So as I explained, mainly your ER diagram explain three things: uh, attributes, entity, and relation, right? So I have explained entity, entity type, entity set, intention, and extension, right? And I have also explained what an attribute is. But these attributes are having different types. So now let's talk about types of attributes, right? Types of attributes. So means what? Now I am trying to explain this in bit detail. So let's talk about types of attributes. So in next few minutes it will be clear, right? So what different types of attribute exist, right? So let's talk about first type of attribute is simple attribute. And opposite to that, we compare simple attribute with composite attribute, right? For example, your age, your height, right? Is You can say that both of them are simple attributes. Why simple attributes? We cannot, it is an atomic, you can say that value. Your age is atomic value. You cannot further divide this value. Means what? If I mention that my age is something called 35 years, right? So what I get out of this value, it is just my age, right? Label is there with this particular value, that is, it is age. But by this age, I cannot infer anything else. I can, right? But it is not divisible. Age is not divisible. I will explain it. It will be more clear to you when I explain composite attribute. So that is meaning of atomic. Your height, it is having atomic value. For example, 5 feet 10 inches, right? So that is your height, person's height I am talking about, right? So ultimately this is also an atomic value, right? For example, your gender, either male or female, right? So that is also atomic value. So when any attribute, if it represents atomic value, that attribute is simple attribute, right? So it will be more clear when we compare this. If still there is some doubt in your mind, when I discuss this composite attribute, it will be more clear that what is exactly meaning of an atomic value, the value which cannot be further divided, and what exactly do this mean, right? So let me discuss this. For example, your name, right? Name is student name. So is it possible to divide name into, okay, parts? Yes, it is possible. We most of the time divide our name in first name, okay, component. We divide it into middle name and last name, right? So if there is an attribute called name, or student name, or person name, it can be further divided into three parts maybe, right? First name, middle name, and last name. So in this case, we call this name attribute composite attribute, right? So that is meaning of, is it possible to divide an attribute into components, right? So we call each and everything a component, right? And in some cases, these components are further divided into again components, right? So this may create hierarchy like this, right? I will discuss one example of this also, but for now, just okay, do not consider this in case of name. So all these things are component attributes, right? This is component attribute, this and this is composite attribute. Name is composite attribute, right? Name is composite attribute, and first name, middle name, and last name, they are component attributes. So similarly, if you have one field called address, assume, right? So address is also, as you can see here in this particular right slide, address is one composite attribute and having multiple components like this, right? So let me take you to the another slide. I have, okay, pictorial way of representing that thing. So assume this is an address. It is one field or an attribute, and it can be further divided. As you know, it can be further, address can be further divided into street address, okay, maybe city, maybe state, maybe zip. Okay, street address can be further divided into number of that particular street or name of street and apartment number, right? So means what, this kind of hierarchy may exist for composite attribute, right? Assume this. So this is meaning of composite attribute, right? City, if now it cannot be divided further into, you can say that different components. So now city will become simple attribute in this case. State may be simple, right? In some case, zip may be simple, right? So like this. So and we do not call these simple attributes, but ultimately we call city, state, zip, number, street, apartment number component attributes. So composite attributes, component attributes, right? Component attributes, we call it. Is it clear, all of you? What is the difference between simple and composite attributes, right? One more point I want to make here, right? So we always compare simple attribute with composite attribute, right? So, and please pay attention here. Now it is design aspect of database. See the question that if I say, just try to understand, if I say a name attribute is there. For example, there is a student database or employee database. In employee database, there are certain fields, right, called name. Name is one field, name of employee, name of student, maybe you can consider, right? And for example, Aadhaar number of employee, phone number of employee, and email ID of employee, right? Email. So what do you think, as I explained this, uh, is this name composite attribute? You give answer in yes or no. All of you are requested to answer. Is this name composite attribute according to you? Okay, good. So as per my explanation, you are right, right? As I explained it. So when you say, okay, when you say that, yes, good, okay. So when you say you want to make, while designing a database, you are getting this requirement that I want to design one table for employee, and name of this table will be employee table, and I want to create four attributes called name, right, Aadhaar number of employee, phone number of employee, and email ID, maybe department number and everything, right, department name and everything. So there is one field called name. So it is up to you that you want to make this name attribute simple or composite. It is up to you, and based on requirement analysis phase, you are receiving that we have to create one attribute in employee table with employee name field, right? Just try to understand this concept, right? You have to pay attention for this. And there are two things: either you can make this simple attribute or composite attribute. So if you want to make this attribute composite attribute, what you will do is, you have received requirement from your requirement analysis team that there will be one attribute called name in employee table, fine. But they have also given requirement that they want to search employees, all the employees in employee table with their first name or with their last name. They want to search employees in employee table, okay, employee database with their first name or last name. They may go with first name or they may go with last name while searching particular database. So if this is the requirement, we have to make this name composite attribute. And if there is no such requirement, that they may search, okay, with full name, right, like full name Nilesh Kumar Patel or something, right? So in this case they do not want to search this data with only first name or with only last name, but most of the time they want to search this data with full name, right? So if they want to do this, we do not want to make this, right, we do not want to make this attribute composite. We want to go with simple attribute. So means what, this name attribute, answer to this name attribute is subjective. According to requirement analysis phase, we have to decide, design team has to have to decide thus that we want to make this particular field composite attribute or simple attribute. And how we will decide on this, that if you want to search your database based on components like first name and last name, right, in that case we will go with composite attribute. And if you do not want to divide our attribute name into components, we will go with simple attribute. So means what, if you want to go with component attribute, my table will be different now. My table will have one column with first name, second column with last name, uh, right, Aadhaar number, phone number, and email. So now instead of 4 columns, my database, my table will have 5 columns. Is it okay, all of you? So this question is subjective. It depends. But most of the time we divide. Most of the time when you fill form, you find that instead of just name column, you find in while filling an information, you find multiple fields called first name and last name. Sometimes also middle name. Instead of middle name, you can mention father's name, right? So this is also possible, right? So is it clear, all of you, that answer to this question is subjective? But while it is not given anything, bit information is not given, if you okay, divide this at that attribute okay into components, that will be good in that case, right? So but there are no ways. So that means what, name can be it may become simple, it may become composite, right? So if there is a choice, we go with composite some most of the times. But for example, age, it cannot become composite. Agree, all of you? Yes or no? Age cannot become composite. Yes, but name may become simple, may become composite, right? Height, it cannot become composite, right? So ultimately, this is the reasoning behind this, that why sometimes we have to go with simple attribute and sometimes composite attributes, right? Okay, good. So we have discussed two attributes type, that is simple, composite. Now let's talk about multi-valued attributes, right? So type of attribute is multi-valued, right? For example, uh, again the same thing, and there is an attribute called for example, there is a table called student, right? Under this table there are certain columns or attributes, right? The first attribute is name, right? Second attributes, for example, enrollment number. Third attribute is degree or degrees, right? So and program, maybe in which program student is okay enrolled. So if there is a student, for example, let's say it is me, my enrollment number is 123. I am right now want to take admission in okay, PhD program in this university. So I already have few degrees with me. If I want to enroll into PhD program, I have BTech and MTech, right? 2 degrees I have. For example, as a student, for example, let's call it Arpit. Arpit enrollment number is 124. He want to take admission in BTech degree. He is not having any degree before joining BTech program, right? For example, let's call it Anurag, third student, 125. He want to join MTech program. He is having MTech degree, right? So just try to understand this particular field I am talking about. So pay attention to degree field. Sometimes for first record, it may have two values, right? Means what, I have 2 degrees while I want to join this PhD program. Okay, after joining this program, I have to fill my university form. Under this form, I fill 2 degrees in this particular for this attribute. So this particular attribute is having multiple values for me. So that is why we call it multi-valued attribute. For Arpit, there are no degrees, so it is null. For Anurag, third student, there is only 1 degree. For maybe some other student, there may be 3 degrees. So this particular field, it allows, or it has to allow multiple value for one entity. Remember, right? For one entity, right? Multiple values for one entity, and if there is such attribute in your table, we call this attribute multi-valued attribute, right? No, Ayushi, you cannot say that height can be composite as foot and inches, right? It is just a conversion. We will discuss that part a bit later, right? I will discuss that part. So it is not composite attribute. If we measure into that thing, then it is okay. It is just a conversion, right? So if you say height, okay, and height and 5 feet 10 inches, if you divide these two things, what information it will reveal? It will reveal nothing. 5 feet is one information, and 10 inches another information, and they are not okay giving any information. So that is why it is not composite attribute, right? So this is ultimately what multi-valued attribute is, right? So single valued means what? Compared to multi-valued, there is another type of attribute. We call it single value. So an attribute in that case, single valued, right? You may give example of single valued in this that case. Certain there will be certain attributes. Okay, in for example, student table. Let's call it name. There is a student, and he will be having only one name. Yes or no? Uh, as a student, my name is Nilesh Kumar Patel, or maybe, right? My enrollment number is also single valued, right? If I'm taking admission into PhD program, right? My you can say that program is a single valued. My date of birth, an attribute, it is a single valued. My height is single valued. My age is single valued. So all these things are single valued attributes. What about phone? If I include attribute called phone, answer this question. It is single valued or multi valued according to you? Just think and try to give an answer. Good. Okay. So see, sometimes similarly as in case of degree, right? You may have okay, no phone numbers with you. You may have one, you may have two, you may have three. So ultimately, you can consider phone attribute, right? Phone number column as multi-valued attribute in some case, right? So multi-valued you may consider it. So this is ultimately meaning of single valued versus multi-valued. And now let me ask you a question, right? If there is an attribute which is single, is it necessary that if, see, there is simple attribute, composite attribute, third one is single and multi-valued. Sorry, multi-valued. valued, right? So I have discussed four different types of attributes, right? And do not get confused with these two. We can compare this and this, and we can compare this and this. But is it necessary that if particular attribute is simple, it has to be single also, and vice versa? If an attribute is single, it is simple also. Is it true or not true? So just give it a thought on this and try to derive some example, right? Try to derive example. If you are saying yes, then what is an example? If you are saying no, then what is an example? We'll discuss on this maybe in next class, right? So it will simply clear your understanding, right? It will simply ultimately enhance your understanding. If an attribute is simple, right? Uh, is it necessary that it is also single? If an attribute is single, is it necessary it is simple also, right? So just think this way, and you try to derive an answer, right? So different types of attributes. Okay, we will discuss on this, right? So multi-valued attributes mainly, for example, here in this slide, for example, there is an attribute called there is an entity type called car. Okay, so car's model name, one attribute. Car's color is another attribute. Car's make is third attribute, right? So assume there are three attributes, right? So color is one attribute where, for example, in some cases, right, a car is having multiple colors. Single car, for example, you buy one car and it is a dual tone car, right? Or multi-tone car. So in this case, for example, gray, right, and maybe red or gray and white, right, or black and white. So dual tone car. So this car is having two colors. So for example, if you buy one car and having two colors, so color attribute for this particular car entity type is multi-valued, right? So for example, in case of multi-valued attribute, this multi-valued are mentioned in this particular curly brackets. For example, black and white. Previous degrees in case of student attribute, that if there is a student, for example me, right, I have multiple degrees called btech, right, mtech. So for me and phd, for example, so I have multiple degrees, right? So as a student, some other student having only 2 degrees. As a student, you are maybe not having any degree. Okay, so this previous degree attribute is having multi-valued, and you may represent these multi-values in a curly bracket. Just try to understand these also, right? So this convention we use multi-valued attributes. Now coming to next slide. I think it is clear, all of you. We will discuss about simple and single in next class, but till now I have explained four different types of attributes: simple, composite, single valued, multi-valued, right? So let me move to next slide then. Now this particular slide talks about hybrid actually method, right? So we call this composite multi-valued attributes. Means what? Combining two things. There is one composite attribute, there is one multi-valued attribute. We can combine these two, right? For example, uh, previous degree, right? Previous degree is one attribute. Assume previous degree is one attribute for student entity type, right? This previous degree, we want to divide this previous degree into multiple components, right? So how we represent this previous degree? We want to represent this previous degree in multiple components, that from where you or student earned this degree: name of college, first component attribute, year in which he or she earned this degree, name of degree, mtech, btech, in which field he or she earned this degree, right? That is field. So previous degree, it is component attribute, right? and this composite attribute and having these four components, right? So you may represent, right, previous degree, let's call it PD, in parenthesis, right? And one is college, second one is year, third one is degree, and last one is field. So we may represent component attributes like this under parenthesis. And as you know that previous degree, it is also multi-valued attribute. So we can keep this inside curly bracket. So what does this mean, right? This parenthesis represent component or composite attribute, and this curly bracket outside this represents multi-valued attribute. So we call this type of attributes, right, composite multi-valued attribute, right? This is composite multi-valued attribute. Is it clear, all of you? Is it clear? Right? So let me write in bit detail. For example, let's talk about my, for example, degrees, right? So how I will be able to write. So I will open this curly bracket. Under curly bracket, I will write the first is college name. For example, my first college or university name is SPU, right? Year is, for example, first degree BTech 2004. My degree's name was BTech. I was I completed my degree in computer engineering. So this is information of first degree, comma. I will mention second degree. That is my second degree name, NIT, right? NITB, right? In 2009, I have completed this. I have completed MTech, and name of or you can say that field of my degree is CSE. Third degree is, for example, assume it is JUET. In 2018, I have completed it, my PhD and CSE. So I have three degrees. First degree is information in parenthesis, second degree information, and third degree information. And I will close this curly bracket. So means what? This is first value. This first value is being represented by composite attribute or composite attribute, right? Second value is represented by again composite attribute, and third value is also represented by composite attribute. And how many values? Three values. So it is ultimately multi-value. So multi-value is being represented by curly bracket. Clear, all of you? So this is ultimately an example. And you know, databases of these days, like unstructured databases, they use this type of structure. Hierarchical structure, we call it. Is it clear to all of you? Yes or no? Good. Right? So, okay. So now let me, go to the next slide. Some of the values, as we discussed earlier also, for example, if you enroll to JUT Guna and there is a field called previous degree, as a BTech student you don't have previous degrees, right? So you mention there blank, you don't have anything to fill, right? In that case, how database represent that information, right? It represent, if you nothing, if you are having no information to fill under previous degree attribute, it is going to be treated as null. So this particular slide explains you about null values, right? So in case of you, when you want to enroll to JUT Guna and when you fill registration form, and there is one column called previous degree, so what you will fill? Not applicable in that column, right? So means what? This is ultimately one case. For example, college degree, not applicable, right? So if you fill not applicable in database, what is going to be stored? Null, right? So it is one special constant created by, you can say that, any database management system. So in case of not applicable thing, it fills there null, right? If you do not mention anything, null will be there. So if there exists null in a database, that means what? One of the meaning is not applicable. So null may have multiple meanings. One is not applicable. Means what? If you are as a student, when you want to enroll to JUT Guna, and if there is a column in a registration form, previous degree, So you will write simply not applicable, right? And second thing, one is not applicable, you are very much clear that it is not applicable. Second thing is not known. For example, as a student, when you go to a university and while filling up a registration form, assume while filling up a registration form, there is one column called height, height of you, right? Height of student. So at that particular point of time, you do not know exactly what is height of mine, right? As a student, what is height of yours actually? So you do not know, right? So in that case, you will also write, or you will simply mention blank, because you do not know exact height of yours and you do not want to enter incorrect data. So that is why you will ignore that particular field at that point of time. So what is meaning of that thing is, if as a student, if you exist, your height also exists, right? So that is meaning of missing. So that is another meaning of null. So if you do not enter here anything, it is actually null, it will be treated as null, right? But actually it exists, but right now it is missing, right? It exists but missing, right? What is another meaning of null? Exist or not exist. For example, there is one attribute in student table, phone number, right? So quite possible some, most of you are having phone number, right? You are not having your own phone number, but for example your parents phone number, and at that point of time you do not remember, you don't you are not able to recall your father's or mother's phone number. So you may mention there blank, right? So it is there, it is there, but you are not able to mention it as of now because you are not able to recall it. One thing, okay? So it exists but right now missing. You sorry, it exists but you are not able to recall it. Second thing, it does not exist, right? For example, some student belongs to a humble background, he is not having phone number, mobile phone, or his father or mother is also not having phone. So in that case it does not exist. So in that case also you will mark it blank. So on, in all these three cases, this case and this case, you mention blank, and this blank is going to be treated as null. Okay, so these nulls are having different meanings actually according to this.